and welcome to Summer's Cuisine. My name is Harper, if did not know, and today I will be making for the first time in my life fish and chips. And we're going to try to make it as authentic as possible, but there's going to be a couple limitations because number one, I am in the Midwest, not in England. Number two, I do not have beer in the house, so we can't use beer. Number three, I can't use lard either because I am not getting lard for only one meal. And that's really all. So there are going to be a couple limitations to me making, a fully authentic fish and chips, but we're going to try to get as close as we can. Now, of course, if you want to see the recipe that I'll be using, it'll be in the description down below. So if you want to check it out there. And yeah, so if you guys don't know, because sometimes people don't really know this, but fish and chips is just fried cod and thick and short, stubbly cut French fries. So it's pretty great. I was gonna make mushy peas too, but then I kind of wimped out because I didn't want to spend an hour plus on making mushy peas. So that'll be another video for another time. If you want to see it, comment below. But with that being said, that is really all. Of course, as usual with these videos, I will be filming the ups and the downs, the successes and the failures, and let us see how I deal with a recipe that I never had before on its first try, plus filming it. It should be a fun adventure. And of course, at the end of the video, I will be showing you what it looks like, and I'll be judging myself in a slightly critical, but also hopefully forgiving way by judging the dish on it does it look good, and more importantly, does it taste good. But that being said, let us begin. Okay, so first things first, we're going to peel and cut the potato. Now, I'm only gonna be making one potato worth of chips because I personally do not need to have 4 potatoes worth of fried chips in my house. It's just a thing that I do not need in my house right now. So instead, we're gonna only make one of these, and yeah, it should be enough because I'm pretty small, and also I am trying to be healthy, so yeah, I say that, and then I'm gonna be making fish and chips, which is one of the most unhealthy dishes ever. So a little bit of oxymoron, but it's okay. More or less, I'm going to just peel this potato real quick. And as usual, I say this a lot in these videos, but it is true. I personally don't think this is gonna be a very hard dish per se. The only issue I really have is the fact that I am really bad at frying food, mostly because I am really, really impatient, and I'm bad at waiting for the oil to heat up enough. But after that, I feel like this will be a pretty easy dish. This is mostly me just seeing if I can follow directions really well, if I can do a simple task of frying really well, and then most importantly, is the actual recipe that I'm using really good? I have high hopes because it is highly reviewed, but you never know. Sometimes a really good recipe does not work in a certain, area or kitchen because of multiple factors, including the incompetency of the cook. But from there, that's really all. And with that, potato is peeled. I peeled it because I personally worry that the potatoes that we use a lot are sometimes older, so we want to get all of the little bits off just in case there's any old bits. There was a little bit over here, so that's why I did that. But more or less, I personally never cut potatoes to make them into small stubbly fries, but we're gonna try this out on one go and hope it works out. Yep, look at that. They're a little old, so I'm just gonna grab a knife and cut that out. Okay, so actually this is a good time to cut the first potato. I think this is big enough. You can see that. I'm not gonna cut it in half again because I feel like that's too much, but we're gonna start off with that and just toss it in the water over there. I'm gonna say that's enough too. I am not very good at measuring, so that's why this is gonna look really bad. But we're just going to, guess it out and hope for the best. They were definitely wider than they should be. They're wider here than they should be, but you win some, you lose some. So just that. Okay, so some of these are gonna look really, really weird. For instance, that, but we'll have to just deal. So I'm going to just cut these, speed up the footage, and then get back to you when I'm done. So yeah, I'm gonna stop trying to say that. I'm really trying to stop saying that. Okay, so we have our beautiful potatoes right here. That is a really bad idea. Why do I always do that? But more or less, a lot of them are definitely not cut well, but I just worried that I'm cutting them a little bit too small, so that's why a couple of them are super, super thick, and then some of them are not really thick. They're not gonna look nice. For instance, what is that exactly? But more or less, I'm gonna let these just, you know, soak in their own water, you know, get the starch out, and we'll have to wait until the frying oil is ready. So overall, pretty good so far, but yeah, this becomes the part where the video that I like to call Harper doesn't know how to fry very well, and we're gonna see how bad it is. Oh, there's a little bird outside. Oh, it's kind of cute. Okay, more or less, let's go on. Okay, so I don't know if you can actually see this or not, but the oil is exactly around 225 or so. It'll of course heat up a little bit more by the time that I blot out the potatoes, but we're more or less ready to go. I personally don't see an issue with having them a little higher than 225. That is probably why I'm really, really bad at frying food, but we're just gonna deal with it. But more or less, I'm gonna pop this aside and then get ready to blot the potatoes and get them ready for the frying. I have a little bit more oil than I should, but you know, I have no issue with having a little bit too much. I'll just reuse it for next time, and yeah. Okay, so we have potatoes right here. So we're just going to put this on a nice towel that has been used with potatoes before, so hopefully my mom won't be mad at me for using it again for potatoes. Potatoes have a really, really bad habit of oxidizing different rags and whatnot, and then they make huge stains, which do not look very good on nice towels that my mom wants to keep nice, which I always forget about because I'm really bad at remembering which towels are which. But more or less, we're just going to dry them off like so. So I'm hoping to get these into 2 batches, and that's all. So just going to fry the first batch. So this is gonna go for around 3 minutes. So this is gonna have a oh dear, that's kind of high. Oh my gosh. That's a little bit high on the skillet. That's a little worrying, but hopefully it won't overflow and we'll have a really, really bad oil fire. So we'll be frying these twice. The first fry is just to like a preliminary kind of, hopefully to cook them almost all the way, and then the second fry is going to be really to like crisp them up. It's called, you know, double frying, pre-frying. There's a word for it, but I can't remember it right now. But more or less, this is what we're going to be doing right now. They're clumping up a little bit, but I don't think that's going to be a really big issue. I'm really hoping that's going to be a really big issue. And I'm a little worried that they're a little high. Actually, now it's okay. So it must be just like that preliminary thing of it kind of being a little too high. So honestly, I'm feeling really confident about this. Frying potatoes is easy. Frying French fries is super easy. I've done it before. Actually, I've made a video about it before. But that was a very, very subtle, but also very not subtle plug. But more or less, I'm really freaked out about the fish part. But first things first is to fry potatoes. So yeah. But more or less, I'll get back to you when these are done cooking. And yeah, that's really all. I need to stop saying and yeah. Some people like it, some people really don't like it, and I'm trying to be accommodating, but you know, sometimes you have a very, very small vocabulary to use words over and over again, but more or less, I'll get back to you when I'm done with this. Okay, so they are done for their first batch, so I'm just going to put them onto the paper towel thing, which is right here. So there we go. The good thing about when you have to fry just a little bit of, you know, small batches of things is you don't have to like freak out as much when you're supposed to get them out of the oil. So more or less, I'm trying to do the right thing. So we're going to heat up the oil again to the right amount. Yeah, frying things at home, at least for me, can get really, really annoying because I am incredibly impatient. And oh, thank you, timer. And yeah, that's usually why things fail, because I fry them at lower temperatures than they should be and they become soggy and overcooked and whatnot. Let us go for the second batch. So just getting the potatoes all in this slotted spoon. That's a fun word to say, slotted spoon. I'm not sure if filming this in the morning right when I wake up is a good thing or a bad thing, but I ramble a lot. But more or less, I ramble a lot all the time though, but more or less, I'm gonna toss these in like so. And then 2 minutes. Second frying is done. They're not as cooked as the other ones, so I'm gonna let them cook for a couple more seconds before taking them out. And yeah, as you can probably see, they're a little bit less golden brown, which is either a good thing or a bad thing. I'm gonna say it's a bad thing because I don't wanna be wrong. You can overcook things, but you can't undercook them again. But more or less, we have the French fries, second batch. There we go. I feel like such an expert when they are in small batches. In larger batches, I usually start messing up more. But more or less, we have the potatoes. We're gonna let them cool off a little bit. And while they cool off, we're going to just crank up the heat with the frying oil and get this up to 375. Okay, the frying oil is ready for the next batch, AKA the final batches of French fries. The house smells, or at least the kitchen smells, a lot like oil right now, which of course is what's gonna happen when you fry stuff, but also it smells really bad. But more or less, from there, we're just going to toss in the first batches and then fry them for around 2 to 3 minutes again. So more or less same old, but this time they're gonna be really, really nice and crispy. So I'm very, very excited for that. I've also started preheating the oven to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, or like 190 I think, but more or less 200. So while we prep and cook the fish, the chips part will be still nice and warm for the final, reveal. Sadly, I just realized that I did not get malt vinegar, but it's okay because honestly, I don't like vinegar, and if we're gonna be like, putting limitations on the dish anyway, why don't we just put more limitations on the dish to make it even less authentic? Okay, so we are done for the first batch. They look really, really nice, as you can probably see, but I want to get them onto the paper towel as fast as possible. And then, there we go. And then we're going to let this heat up again. I got a little worried at the end that they were overcooking a little bit, but I think we're still okay, so everything's still okay. But more or less, we're gonna, oh my gosh. Just a minute, Sebastian. My dog's outside. He wants to come inside, but I am a little busy right now, so he can be outside for a couple more seconds. I hope this is interesting to you guys because honestly, this just feels like the same thing over and over again, but it's just part of the process, so I hope someone finds entertainment in this. I'm having fun, but then again, doing something versus watching something, it brings out different elements of enjoyment, so yeah. But we are at 375 or so we're going to fry up the last batches. Okay, so we have the second batch is done. I'm gonna turn off the oil real quick because it's already really hot. I don't want to overheat the oil, but we have the French fries or chips right here. I'm gonna go over, we're gonna change the shot. Okay, so we have a tin right here. It is washed, it is clean, it's just old, so don't look at it too much, but more or less we're just going to toss the fries or chips right here, and then liberally salt. Okay, so they're nicely salted. I'm gonna toss these in the oven and then we'll start making the fish. Okay, so in this bowl we have the salt and baking powder. Now we're using lemon seltzer water because both my mom and I do not drink beer. And we thought that, buying a 6-pack is not worth it overall, but they just only need really carbonated, a beverage of some kind. My mom loves seltzer water. It's lemon flavored too, no sweetening, so all in all, pretty great. It's nicely cold. And then we're going to just whisk this around. Okay, so move the fish over here. We have the first dredging stuff. So we're going to just place the fish, just lightly get some flour on them, and then I'm just gonna put these into the mixture. I'm just gonna let it sit there while I get everything else done. That might be a bad idea, but we're just going to do with it because right now I am a little frazzled. This is not really that difficult, but as I've already kind of predicted, there's always a point in the video where things start all coming together at the same time very, very quickly. And I panic a little bit, but I feel like I am dealing with it pretty well so far. We have the cod battered up, and we have to now wait for the oil to start, get ready to fry, and then we'll finish this in hopefully victorious finale. But no one knows because fried food and it's also me. Okay, so I am thinking that I'll probably have to fry this in probably 2 batches as before, but hopefully everything will be okay and nothing will be, a big huge failure. But oh my gosh, for some reason my eyes are kind of getting irritated. I put on a clay mask last night. My eyes started hurting, and then something about this oil, like something about the air right now, is making my eyes feel even more irritated, so I can barely see right now, which is not good. Okay, so we have the oil ready. My eyes are not hurting as much as they were, a couple minutes ago. So I'm just trying to cover and coat, let dredge a little bit, and then I'm going to use the slotted spoon because I don't want it to burn my fingies. Oh, well, that's a bad idea, but we're just gonna deal with that. Can I get 2 in, actually? I'm gonna try. Okay. Because the pan is a little bit smaller than it probably should, I have to continually try to keep the fish from sticking to each other. But from what I can see in the oil, I think we have, I think they're working out pretty well. So, yeah, high hopes. They're looking golden, which is really, really good. Okay, so let's see the first one. Look at that. It looks really, really good. So we're just going to put it on a paper towel. Grab the other one. So overall, I am super excited. The kitchen smells like a fry shop right now. It actually smells incredible. And honestly, I am really, really excited. I think that, patience and, following directions really helps. Which, should be a no-brainer, but it's me. I sometimes forget. But more or less, from there, I'm gonna let this heat up more, and then we'll fry up the other ones. I've actually, just a minute, I'm gonna show you guys 1 second. So I've actually moved the already cooked fish onto this rack right here, so it has a little bit more breathing, room, so it doesn't get soggy on the bottom. But we're just gonna let them cool off. I read that you're supposed to, let them, serve them as quick as possible, and I will for the other ones, but, I won't be eating these all, in one go, and I don't want these to be, like, too disgusting afterward. So we have them right here. They look really, really good, and yeah, these look absolutely incredible, and I'm really excited to eat them. Okay, so we have a little battery issue right now where both my batteries are dead, but we're gonna continue on and hope everything's gonna be okay. So this is still kind of hot. Why did I touch it? So we have our fish and chips right here. Everything looks really good. I am super excited to try this out. So we're just gonna put some chips, all the chips, right here. And then we're going to I'm gonna take this fish. There we go. This fish. There we go. And there is my attempt, first time, on fish and chips. It looks really, really good. I'm gonna take some pictures of this and then let's see how it actually tastes because it smells great, it looks great, but does it actually taste great? Let's see. Okay, so we have the fish and chips finally here. We're going to just open up. Actually, I probably should have like cut it before, but we're just gonna do with it. But more or less, we're just gonna see. It's definitely crispy. I can hear its crispiness. And it looks perfectly cooked. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's up. Hair everywhere off of my hair tie. But it looks really great. My hair looks really bad, but we're gonna deal with that later. But more or less, it's very hot. Let's see how it tastes. And then the chips, which are more like potato wedges, but we're just gonna deal with that. Okay, so I've had a little bit of the fish and chips, and this is what I think. Number one, the cod is perfectly cooked. It is both, tender, but also a little juicy. It's not dry at all. The batter is perfectly flaky and light. It's incredibly light. And it also is kind of seasoned. Like, I probably could put more salt on it because I love salt, but like, it's actually seasoned, and that's amazing. And honestly, I've never cooked, I've never fried fish in my life ever before. Ever. This was absolutely phenomenal. Like, this was better than any fried fish I have ever tasted. You cannot taste any of the oil. It's a little oily when you pick it up, but like, you can't taste it at all, and it's not too oily to freak you out. The chips are sadly a little bit overcooked, like the taste is overcooked, and it's also not crispy at all. That's probably because I had them in the oven for a while too. But honestly, like, what I was really banking on was the fish. I really wanted to make the fish really, really good. And it was absolutely phenomenal. Like, this was a, home run success. I am so proud of, experiencing this and accomplishing this. It was a little bit, tedious, definitely, but it was definitely worth all the time and energy I put into it. And I am really proud of the outcome. When it comes to my rating, 1 out of 10, 1 being it's absolutely terrible, a huge fail, I hate it, it looks terrible, it tastes terrible, I can't even finish it, never again, to 10 being it looks better than I thought it was, it tastes better than I thought it was, I actually love it, I'll make it over and over again. I'm gonna give this a solid 9.5. I probably will never make this again because it's so much prep work and I'm so bad at frying food usually that I will never make this probably ever again except for, special occasion. But it was totally worth it after that. Like, if you were good at frying or like, if you like frying food a lot, this is definitely worth it. 5 stars for the person with the recipe. I will have, of course, the link down below. Props to her. It was absolutely phenomenal. And honestly, like, I really like this. I am so proud of it, and I really hope you like this video because, honestly, this has been a SB4. I've said this a lot. I'm kind of repeating myself a lot, but I'm just so happy and excited about this. But it was a huge success, and I'm really, really happy about it. But that's really all for today. So, of course, comment below what your thoughts about fish and chips are. Do you like them? Do you not like them? And what kind of fried fish should I try to fry next? With that being said, of course, if this video you like, if you want to see more from watch, just subscribe. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I will see you next time, and as usual, goodbye!